First of all, thanks for having me here. It's my pleasure sharing one of our digital transformation story at Halliburton. Before I dive into a little bit about me, I've been with Halliburton for 13 years, and before Halliburton worked for other industries such as medical, search engine, and the energy, which is the current industry. At Halliburton, I'm responsible for leading the digital group for the fracturing department. We call production enhancement as a PSL. And I run the software group, or we call digital group, because it includes software, data science, data engineer, everything which is non-hardware. So today, I was talking to Peter, and thanks for him to introducing me to this forum. And his advice to me was, it would be helpful if you tell us the real story of digital transformation. So I'm gonna, put one card out of deck in Halliburton and tell you the story about the streamlining operation. As you talked about, there are so many ways we can transform our business, and it's happening in Halliburton, but I'm only gonna touch how we streamline our operation in last 3 years and how this whole thing started, touch base about how we focused on small thing and then scale it to the entire North American land operation. But before I dive into it, this is just how we operate. We have, as many of the companies, a lot of smart engineers. They have a lot of ideas to improve operation. We collaborate with operations, product management team, internal, external partners, and we try to generate value which directly impact the business digitally. That's specifically my group. So let me dive into the story I mentioned. Before that, a small analogy, and we all familiar with how a house construction works. Imagine you are a developer and you want to build a house. You will have multiple vendors, suppliers, workers, a lot of inventory to manage. Now you imagine a scenario where each of your work site has their own flavor of a process. They have literally spreadsheets where they manage inventory. They manage their design. And you are asking your site that give me a real-time update, like how things are progressing. Are you working in the way we design? And tell me the inventory stack in the real time. And adding complexity, imagine each of your site has a different version of that spreadsheet. And moving your resources, you can imagine how just complicated it is if you want to mobilize your labor, because now you have to train them how to work in a particular site. That was surprisingly, to confess you all guys, Halliburton, the largest fracking company, but we still have a flavor of that in our frac site. Multiple Excels at each location, tracking job design, inventory, because we pump, chemicals, sand, comes from different vendors. Customer gives us a plan. Although we try to stick, there are changes. The changes are incorporated, again, using these Excels. And then all of the user wants some information, some reports. Business development team wants some reports. Our customer wants some reports. Management wants some reports. You can imagine the complexity we had to deal. All stakeholders, they have their own requests, and using the same data but in a different format. The crew generating multiple reports. Even I'm sure a lot of service companies, when E&Ps ask us, give us a report, we still stick to WITSML and sometimes CSV and PDF type reports, right? So it's very labor intensive. We used to have 7 engineers per crew, and put things in perspective, just Halliburton runs, at least before pandemic, we used to have tens of like more than 60 crews and scale it to the industry level. And if everyone has to do these calculations, inventory management within Excel with all these different flavors, you can imagine how far we are, as you mentioned, as oil and gas, in terms of leveraging data, making decisions, giving reports real time, or even watching job real time. This was few years back. They say necessity is the mother of invention. With all the pain we had in COVID, the good thing came out was all of things we had put in our back burner, like, okay, let's optimize this, let's streamline this, got accelerated. 3 of my crew engineers, they took ownership. We started small because there is so many problems to solve. My experience was start with one narrow focus, build, test, and improve. That's the approach we adopted, because here we're talking about the crews who are comfortable with this fashion. We can't change them overnight. So the 3 engineers we had, they started with one location, start with standardizing the Excel, and then taking it to the small tool they built, but only for the region. And then they took it to the when we started testing this at the regional level, we thought like, okay, this is working, what we thought would create a value. Now, how do we scale? Because it is still an Excel VBA-based solution. And that's when the digital came into an accelerated fashion. We quickly converted this into a desktop app, which was now the entry point for all the data. So eliminate Excel, cool. Then the next ask was, I want to integrate with my suppliers. Like the sand is coming every hour, and this guy is still clocking in all the sand tickets manually into the app we built, but it's still manual, right? So we partner with our vendor, again, API-based integration with vendor. They send the sand. We know exactly the order number. He enter the 5-digit number. Boom, he get all the order details. He just confirm, got it. It's registered into the app, perfect. And so this journey, you can see after we transform, the incremental value was next, take it to the North America level. How can I integrate all my frac locations? There is a value if I get the data, because here we're talking about job data, all the pump data, and previously all the data was just sitting in unstructured fashion. Now we started making use of the data, partnered again with Microsoft. Now the solution is fully edge cloud enabled. It syncs with the Azure location. So all my locations now hub and spoke model. We have a central location across North America, and I can literally integrate data across my frac fleet. So we basically automated data capture, centralized the information, and the next incremental value was remote viewing. You can imagine, like, the moment we start delivering value to all these users, they started asking more and more. And the beauty was the way we architected and the data backbone helped us quickly deliver those values. Again, we stick to our core expertise, partner with external, and deliver the value. So remote viewing is now possible. Again, a standard data model, so no more versions of data model, crew specific. So the result of this was from 7 engineers per crew, we ended up having 1 engineer per crew. That helped us, especially, as I said, during COVID, as we all know, industry, the most suffered industry, we restructured significantly, but at the same time, immediately the demand picked up. Now, how can I operate with the same, with the reduced work staff and the highly capital intense discipline market? This whole digitization helped us run the same operation, but with better quality, using only 1 engineer at the location. And again, just to give you some glimpse, the left side is before, the right side is now, no paper on the desk. I would say the left guy is still very organized. This is not how clean and neat the location looks like. So whoever took the picture, I asked him, you should have got me a real before picture. But again, also he's smiling. No one smiles at that location. At least they used to. But now, literally, when I last time visited, this guy, whoever, like the one engineer there, he literally has to, everything is automated. The data flows from, we have like multiple legacy systems. They all send data automatically. He literally like make sure there is no connectivity issue or if there is any exceptions. Otherwise, everything is fully automated. I in fact have a photo where they are literally like playing games. Well, but anyway, I think the clicker is not working. Oh, okay. So this is just a glimpse of how the app look like now. Imagine like Excel-based report versus we have a web-based customer reporting tool. All those data instantaneously, there is a real-time version. The operator, as we talked about the analogy, you can see the house being built real-time. You can see the inventory being used real-time. You can get post-treatment report immediately as soon as the job is finished. Everything through all this digital platform we started building over last 3 years. And we recently also launched the mobile app for a quick dashboard, which again tells us the efficiency per crew, crew location, and a lot of other statistics. So these are some high-level benefits. I think I touched base some of these. Reduced dependency on skilled labor. Many of those engineers who used to sit in the location, they are now on the technology side of the organization and running products. Like 2 of them in my group, they are product lead for 2 of the big projects. So the point is, some of those people, we are wasting their talent by doing something which could have been easily digitized. So we reduce that dependency on skilled labor. The big thing was 24/7 to 8/5. There was constant demand. If something goes wrong, customer sees this data is wrong, I think something is issue. Then we had to put a lot of people, like those 24/7, 5-6 engineers, go back, what happened to the job, why this pressure curve look wrong, or what this data is missing. Now, I don't think these basic issues are there. They back to like 8 to 5 support versus 24/7. The 30% reduction in operating cost was just specific to this. It's not entire operation level, but just because of this one app, we reduced the operating cost. So that's my, So that's my story about this one particular streamlining operation effort. In Halliburton, we have our own equipment. We have a lot of sensors on the equipment. Every second, there is a tremendous amount of data being gathered. We have a big data lake, data warehouse, which we literally, and this app also feed a lot of data. Based on all that strong operational backbone, we created literally like 7 to 10 utilities in a span of 6 months, varying from equipment life model or preventive maintenance, or just detecting failures. So because engine failures or filter issues, now we have a dashboard, maintenance dashboard. Imagine it's showing you this engine gonna break down 15 days if you don't do this preventive maintenance, and then immediately integrate with SAP and orders. So all those things plus data model, a lot of data science applications are running at edge, which real-time monitor the job, and also we are working on some closed loop automation to basically create more autonomous fracking. So you might have heard about the smart fleet, which is again very catered to ENPs, get downhole visualization, real-time picture of how the frac looks like. So there is a lot happening, but this was just one example where our style of focus, start small, and then scale. And every time you build something, get some incremental value so that the operation or the business will keep investing in the digital. That was my experience with working with Halliburton. Deliver value incrementally and they will keep investing in you.